Now on Coast TV News.
Tonight, we continue the compelling story of this Easton pastor. He's home now, but helping those who are still detained by ICE. Plus, Beebe's big plans for Millsboro are moving ahead, what town leaders just approved.
We're about to find out what eviction is really about and what does that mean for your week.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
This is the emotional embrace as an Easton pastor reunites with his family after getting released from an ICE facility thousands of miles away. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Christina DeRobertis. We begin tonight with the final chapter of Faith Under Ice. This evening we've shared the story of Easton pastor Daniel Fuentes Espinal. From the moment he was detained to the transfers he faced while in ICE custody and his days behind bars. And now Coast TV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman shows us how the pastor is continuing his mission today and what he hopes for the future as his case moves forward.
Pastor Daniel Fuentes Espinal is home in Easton. As you can see in this picture, it was a very emotional moment, not only for him but for his family when they were reunited. Now, he is preaching to his community while still praying for those he met and are still behind bars.
Every day I receive about 6 to 10 calls from people who are there asking for prayer and also for financial support.
After being detained on this road in Easton, Pastor Fuentes Espinal was taken first to the Salisbury ICE field office, then to the Baltimore ICE field office before being transferred to the Wynn Correctional Center in Louisiana. Pastor Fuentes Espinal says that the support he received from the Easton community, especially contributions to a GoFundMe account, is now being paid forward to help other detainees and their families.
We've helped other people with funds. We've helped other people who can't afford to pay their bond. We've also been helping families whose husbands were captured and who were left without money in their homes.
What kept you going during those weeks? Was it hope? Was it faith?
Well, it was faith in the God we preached, faith and also the need that other people had. The Word of God tells us that we must be moved by compassion.
Pastor Fuentes Espinal says the ministry he helped start behind bars is still going inside the facility. He says he cried when he returned to his church here at home.
Knowing that we've been in ministry for 14 years, preaching the word here in this place, filled my heart with joy, with happiness, knowing that God didn't allow me to be sent back to my country, but kept me here to continue preaching His word. So for me, this place is very special.
What do you hope from this process?
My desire is to stay in this nation legally, to be able to travel back to my country as well, but to be able to return, travel to my country, and go preach the Word of God there too. That's the desire of my heart, to see my family again, the family I haven't seen for 25 years.
Pastor Fuentes Espinal now visits churches to share his testimony, hoping to bring hope and faith to families facing similar situations.
The only desire in our hearts is to give the best to our families. We are not criminals. We are not bad people. We are people who have emigrated from our nations out of necessity.
A pastor standing tall and full of hope through difficult times. In Easton, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
And Pastor Fuentes Espinal has an immigration court date this spring. On top of that, his family is exploring options to secure his permanent status. In the meantime, he is back at his Easton church, and we will continue following this story. You can see all 3 pieces from this series, Faith Under Ice. Just go to our app and our website and search that, Faith Under Ice. And we're going to check in on our Coast TV poll now. We're asking today, what is your biggest concern about immigration? Let's look at the results. 5% say broken system, 2% say delayed courts, 40% with border safety, and 53% most popular answer, human rights. And you can still vote and let us know what you think on this. Just head over to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. And now we're looking live into Lewis. Our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams joins us now with a check on the forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Well, good evening to you. And what we have right now is cool conditions that's kicking in for us. Now, that cold air advection that I alluded to at the top of the newscast, it means we have cold air that's coming in and even colder air behind it, although it's a bit on the chilly side as we speak. Right now, we're going to drop back to about 49 degrees by 3 o'clock under mostly clear skies in the Lewis area. Now, one thing we have to remember is that we're going to combine this chilly air along with somewhat breezy conditions along the beaches, and that's one of the reasons why this small craft advisory is a bit of a 2-for-1 sale, so to speak, because, of course, we have choppy conditions with the winds causing problems with waves, but also it's going to become a cutting kind of a feel outside because of the combination of the lower temperatures and those winds primarily pushing out of the west and out of the northwest eventually. But this trough is pushing across right now, and it's not creating any more opportunity for precipitation. We're going to stay dry, and with that drier atmosphere, that also adds another element to that cold feel in the air. But we're going to talk more about going from chilly to cold to really cold in our long-range forecast coming up later.
Thank you, Paul. We have more information tonight about two separate but related shootings that happened last night in Wicomico County. Maryland State Police say the first shooting took place around 5 p.m. on North Westover Drive, that's near Salisbury. 44-year-old Dakaya Sanika Jones was killed. 23-year-old Ferguson Milford, who police believe is her son, he was hurt. The suspect involved then ran to Jefferson Street, where he was shot and killed by police around 7 o'clock. It happened right outside of Teresa Cott's home.
It was terrifying. I will tell you, Salisbury police are exemplary. People need to be thankful that they're doing their job the way they're taught. They did good.
The suspect has not yet been identified, and police have not determined a motive. Police say investigations into both of these Wicomico County shootings are ongoing. Now to Millsboro, where Beebe Healthcare is one step closer to expanding in town. The council tonight approved an updated conditional use for Beebe's planned emergency room and walk-in clinic at Route 113 and Hardscrabble Road.
We're hoping they're going to break ground maybe the end of this month. And then it's a 2-year period to do the build out. So we're excited as soon as they can get started, all the better.
And Beebe is not the only one growing in Sussex County. Tidal Health officially broke ground on a new outpatient campus in Millsboro. That was in July, and the facility is set to be Tidal Health's largest non-hospital site. Now, also in Millsboro, a proposed change at the intersection of Delaware and Laurel Avenue. That was not decided tonight. We told you about it earlier. Town Council ultimately tabled a proposal that would turn the 2-way stop intersection into a 4-way stop. The council saying it will be considered again in the future. Neighbors today that we spoke with, they said they think a traffic light or a roundabout might work better than a 4-way stop.
A 4-way stop is just going to cause more traffic both ways.
But Millsboro Town Manager Jamie Burke said he's not ruling out a traffic light or a roundabout, but he says the town is, considering a 4-way stop. It's easier to build that than to go through the years-long process of putting a traffic light. Some fines in Ocean City could cost you a whole lot more if that town council passes a new ordinance. A potential increase could affect things like parking violations, littering, public alcohol offenses, and more. For example, a noise complaint that currently carries a maximum fine of $1,000. Under the new ordinance, that could balloon up to a maximum $5,000 fine. One vacationer we spoke with today who's been visiting Ocean City for more than 30 years says they think the current maximum of $1,000 is more than enough.
I feel that $1,000 is sufficient. I think $5,000 is kind of over the top on something like that. I don't think that needs to be implicated, putting $5,000 fine on something like that.
Although the maximum fines could be increasing, most fines in Ocean City will still range from $25 and up. You are looking at and hearing people fill a DART bus with food donations today. It's part of the Stuff the Bus annual food drive for Delawareans in need. The statewide food drive is running through Saturday, November 8th. It's happening every day from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at various locations.
I think it's always good, to try to give something back to those that need it the most. We're lucky we have our food at home and can go out to a restaurant occasionally. So it's just a give back really to the community.
Non-perishable food items like the items in this man's cart are being accepted, and the goal is to stuff the DART bus with 15,000 pounds of food. Making national headlines today, the Senate returned to Capitol Hill Monday, but Republicans and Democrats appear no closer to resolving the shutdown stalemate. Despite that, though, a new development for approximately 42 million low-income Americans who rely on food stamps through the federally funded Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, that's also known as SNAP. Sherelle Hubbard has details on the relief.
Facing a Monday deadline from a federal judge in Rhode Island, the Trump administration said it will fund only half of November SNAP benefits. But food stamp recipients will not see payments immediately.
I have to decide whether to put gas in my car or buy something to eat.
It's scary. I'm a mom. All of our food goes to our kid first and then we eat.
I just kind of have to think about making sure to make it stretch as long as we can.
The U.S. Department of Agriculture had said it would not use its $5.3 billion contingency fund to cover SNAP benefits. But two federal judges ordered the USDA to use emergency funds to partially cover November benefits for recipients. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said Sunday full benefits can be restored if Democrats drop demands for an extension of federal health care subsidies and vote to pass the GOP funding bill to end the government shutdown.
Democrats are in the middle of a civil war, and they should just open the government.
As the U.S. government shutdown approaches record length, some Democrats argue President Trump and Republicans are intentionally withholding food benefits for political reasons.
All Republicans care about is the opinion of one man, the puppet master of the Republican Party, Donald J. Trump. They don't care about anything else. How else can you explain the fact that they are weaponizing hunger?
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Today, Delaware Congresswoman Sarah McBride reacting to the announcement that SNAP benefits will be partially funded, and here's what she had to say.
I hope we can reopen government before Thanksgiving. I hope we reopen government tomorrow and do so in a bipartisan and compassionate way. While I'm glad that we will see at least some federal funding move forward during this shutdown for SNAP, this was a choice that Donald Trump made, that Republicans made to call into question this life-saving benefit. And they are now only partially moving forward with funding because their hands have been forced by the courts.
And we are just getting started. There's more news ahead. Coming up tonight, the city of Dover joining a new state program to boost affordable housing. What's in that plan and why it's dividing some city leaders. But first, insurance premiums are going up nationwide. Why experts are warning relief may not be coming anytime soon. And coming up, Paul Williams is in our First Alert Weather Center with your full forecast after this.
Right now, we are enjoying the coolness of the air and the feeling of fall all the way around. But we may get a little touch of winter before it's all said and done. In Salisbury, holding at 53 degrees, dew point 42, with the winds at 10 miles per hour. We are still dealing with very blustery conditions along the beaches. I know I sound like a broken record, but we have broken record weather, so that's what I'm doing, holding true to serve here. So we're looking at small craft advisory still active for the beaches, bracing for 25-mile-per-hour winds, choppy conditions on the beaches, and that's true no matter what part of the peninsula you're on, including over towards Blackwater as well as the Cambridge area. This trough that's pushing through, not doing anything of significance other than shifting the direction of the winds. Other than that, we're looking pretty clear. Now, what's behind this cold front here, much more potent and colder air eventually. But see, right ahead of this is going to be a very warm, let's say Wednesday before it's all said and done. But right now, we're very much on the cool side. 40 degrees, generally speaking, for the entire area. Clear skies, winds out of the west-northwest. Today, we had a high of 59 degrees. The normal high is about 63, so we are a little bit subpar for today. 52 right now, that's where we stand in Georgetown as well as Milford, and we're at 53 degrees right now in Laurel under mostly clear skies. Tuesday, lunchtime, winds are out of the northwest. It's going to be a cold and not so comfortable breeze, so wear the long sleeves, okay? 59 degrees, and because of the cloud cover staying so thick, we're not really going to change much throughout the afternoon. Wednesday, we start off at about 42, clear skies, but look at where we end up, like in the mid to upper 60s, and actually 69 degrees, generally speaking, for the entire area. So we're going to feel much warmer on Wednesday before we tank again. By the way, peak time for us to enjoy the beautiful tapestry and painting of Mother Nature, because we're going to be in our peak foliage phase, so to speak, across our neck of the woods, because early November, which is where we are right now, that's when we're looking at peak foliage to occur. Now, the only time I really see any real significant rain trying to move in on us will be on Saturday. By 9 o'clock, we're looking for steady downpours to kick in by 9 o'clock, and I'm looking for that rain to sweep through rather quickly, and then by the afternoon, it should pull out of the way, but we'll still have a flow generally coming out of the northwest, so that chill in the air will be a damp, clammy chill for Saturday going into early Sunday morning. That being said, let's kind of review where we've been for this, or where we've gone for this. 45 for tonight, clear and chilly, winds light west, winds light and northwest at 9 miles per hour. I think I'm getting sleepy, sorry about that. Anyway, 62 for tomorrow with abundant sunshine, winds out of the west. Then on Wednesday, we warm all the way up to near 70 degrees. Finally, here's a look at the extended forecast. We do get a little chilly Thursday night going into Friday morning, but then next week on our 10-day forecast, I'm gonna show you something even colder than that.
All right, thank you, Paul. Well, open enrollment for 2026 health coverage that began over the weekend, but you may be shocked by the spike in costs, and that number could skyrocket for low-income families if lawmakers do not extend federal subsidies that help lower their monthly costs. In tonight's Consumer Watch, Jen Sullivan looks at the rising prices and why you're paying more.
Millions of Americans will soon be paying more for health insurance. That's because insurance companies on the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, are charging more for coverage next year.
It's basically unaffordable for many.
KFF, a nonprofit focused on health policy, found insurance companies on the Affordable Care Act are raising premium costs by roughly 26% on average in 2026, and there's not much people can do to lower those costs.
If you drop down, take a less generous plan, then you're going to have a higher deductible.
More than 24 million people get their health insurance through the ACA, and roughly 92% of them receive federal tax credits to help lower their monthly costs. But those healthcare subsidies are at the center of the battle on Capitol Hill. They're set to expire at the end of 2025. Democrats want to extend those tax credits.
If enhanced premium tax credits expire, we're expecting that on average, premium payments are going to more than double. That's a 114% increase.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates permanently extending the subsidies would cost $350 billion over the next decade. Many Republicans say they won't negotiate the subsidies until enough Democrats approve a spending bill to end the government shutdown. Caught in the middle is the American public. Without the subsidies, KFF says average monthly premium costs could go from $888 to as much as more than $1,900 next year.
It's a complicated situation.
It's not just ACA premiums going up. KFF found annual family premiums for employer coverage is higher as well. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Coming up next, these two people fighting to represent the eastern shore of Virginia will break down the big races on Delmarva and across the nation ahead of Election Day. The city of Dover is joining a new state pilot program aimed at expanding affordable housing in the city. The program is run through the Delaware State Housing Authority, and it provides technical assistance to help cities update their zoning and plan for future growth. It was created following a state study which found Delaware will need 45,000 new homes by 2030. The council approved the measure, but not all city leaders are on the same page here.
This type of thing will provide assistance with accessory dwelling units, building height changes, increasing density, things of that nature. that could help better serve the population.
It's an issue that we've been conscious of for many, many years, and it's one of the issues that we think is very important. However, the most important issue is the encroachment on local jurisdiction and authority.
And the next steps include selecting consultants to assist the city, and the project is expected to start in early January. Well, Virginia is making history as voters head to the polls Tuesday to elect the state's first woman governor. Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears and Democratic U.S. Representative Abigail Spanberger are competing to replace term-limited Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin. And those on the Eastern Shore will also decide who will represent them in the 100th District. That covers Accomack County and as far south as parts of Virginia Beach. Longtime Republican delegate Rob Bloxham Jr. is being challenged by Liz Richardson, a chaplain. And it is Election Day in several states Tuesday. The mayor's race in New York City, one of the key contests that a lot of people are watching. Democratic primary winner Zohran Mamdani is facing off against former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is running as an independent, and Republican Curtis Sliwa. Some national Democrats are leery about Mamdani, a self-described Democratic socialist. And today, President Trump posted on social media urging New Yorkers to vote for Cuomo. Coming up in sports tonight, a local softball team is being rewarded for their impact on and off the field. Find out who was just named the newest Delmarva Dream Team. And coming up, sleep struggles. If you're feeling extra tired after the time change, experts say it could be something more serious.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
It is a fresh start to a new week, but if you woke up wanting to stay in bed this morning, it may not be due to yesterday's time change. In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains why and has more on the subtle signs of sleep apnea.
Whenever the time shifts, so does your sleep routine, and it may mean you wake up sleepier than usual, but if it's a consistent problem, the fatigue and lack of energy may not be due to daylight saving time.
You're giving yourself 7 to 8 hours of sleep and you're still waking up tired, you're tired during the day, then definitely looking for a sleep disorder like obstructive sleep apnea is reasonable.
Dr. Mina Khan with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says obstructive sleep apnea is a medical condition where a person's airway closes off and on during sleep. Some subtle signs of this sleeping disorder include waking up feeling tired like you haven't slept at all, having low energy, or difficulties with concentration and focus. She says more obvious symptoms are snoring, gasping during sleep, and dozing off during the day.
There's severe obstructive sleep apnea has been associated with development of high blood pressure, heart issues, strokes, and memory problems.
Khan says there are several ways to treat obstructive sleep apnea, the most common being the use of a CPAP device, which works by delivering pressurized air into the sleeping person to keep the airway open. If you suspect this sleep disorder, a doctor can have you tested.
It is done with a sleep study. There is a home sleep study that is used mainly to diagnose obstructive sleep apnea. So not everybody has to come into the sleep lab and sleep overnight.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Moving to sports tonight, a local softball team's efforts are being rewarded. The Eastern Shore Velocity were named Delmarva's Dream Team for the month. That means they get a generous reward for their program. And here's DSN's Darren Wallace.
Coaching youth sports often goes far beyond X's and O's. Here on the peninsula, Eastern Shore Velocity head coach Brandon Dodson knows that much and works to teach his 14U squad not only to be better players, but even better people. And that deserves some special recognition.
I always thought that good coaches when I was young helped me and put me in the right direction, and not necessarily that I was a professional athlete, but it gave me the right mindset to be successful in life, and I always thought I should be that coach for someone else, kind of keep the thing going.
Dodson's been with this group for the past 5 years, and under his coaching, the players themselves say they've noticed the difference.
He's made me a better player, like the player I am today. He's definitely helped me grow over the years, because I've been with him for a while.
He really started me with softball, to be honest. I started from nothing and he's built me to where I've been now.
Ultimately, Dodson wants his girls to know that it's hard work that will take them far in life, and so far, that message has been well received.
I'm hard on them, and I expect them to give me their best, but I want them to learn that when you give your best, what you get out of it, and that's the biggest way to be successful in anything in life, right? Is head down and give it everything you got. And now that they understand that, I think they see that the love that comes from behind it. Sometimes it's tough love, but they get that aspect of it, and I'm glad now they've gotten a little bit older, they've learned it.
Congratulations to our latest Delmarva Dream Team, sponsored by Toyota. In Vienna, I'm Darren Wallace for the Delmarva Sports Network.
So right now in Salisbury, we're at 53 degrees, courtesy of our Tidal Health camera, and we're very clear right now as far as cloud cover and rain is concerned, but we're still a bit breezy with small craft advisory still active around the entire Delmarva Peninsula, bracing for 25-mile-per-hour winds. With that in mind, we're not worried about precipitation until Saturday. By the way, our umbrella giveaway winner is Harold Hamilton of Salisbury. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration, Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, and sponsored by Mondelez, Brockstedt, and Federico. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. You see that cold over there on the other side? That's a high of only 48 and a low of near freezing.
Ooh, I see it. It's not too bad, though.
Okay, well, we'll see how you feel about that when it gets here.
No snow, though, yet. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said it.
Don't ever say that word out loud.
I'm sorry, Paul. Thank you for the forecast, and thanks to you at home for joining us. You can always find more news and weather on our Coast TV News app. The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon's up next. And we'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night, everyone.
It's going to snow.